everybody. Today is a wonderful day because we have a wonderful guest for you today. Before we get into the podcast with our guest, just want everybody to take a deep breath in, just sort of bringing in all that positive, wonderful energy, taking a full exhale, just letting go of anything that you've been holding on to lately. Just want to create a space of peace, create a space of openness, create a space where we can listen to each other, where we can talk to each other openly. So thank you all for joining us here. We have a wonderful show for you today. Here we are. Hello. I am Seelaman along with my co-host Shantastic Shine.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. So today is the camera's up here now. Thursday, March 5th, 2015.
It's also full moon.
It is the full moon today, yes. We have a full moon, and it's very crazy. So thank you, Virgo. It's our 34th podcast, and we are joined by none other than Ashton Robertson. Welcome to the show.
Hello, it's good to be here. It's good to be back on again and see you guys. Always so good, refreshing to see you guys' faces.
Wow. We see that Ashton's wearing his Project Bring Me to Life shirt.
Like a winner.
Yeah. You got the last 2014 shirt, so classic.
I love it. I actually wear it all the time. I love the back of it. It's so cool. I don't know if you can see it.
It's pretty sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for joining us on the show. We always enjoy having you on, and it is such a pleasure and such an honor to have you on once again here on this beautiful day.
Today is a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. So there are a few topics that we would like to get into for today. One of them was, one of them was about your new project. Another one about a group that you created on Facebook, and a few other things. Before we get in, there might be a few people here who haven't seen any of our recent podcasts. So would you please describe who you are, where you come from, and what your purpose is?
I am Ashton Robertson. I live in San Diego, California. I just moved here, and I moved here from Michigan. The main thing I do is I make music under a project name called Spaceship Earth. It's electronic music with live electric guitar and just like spiritual, inspirational themes, space themes. I love spreading light and learning about consciousness and exploring the cosmos.
Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful leeway into one of the subjects, which is starseeds. You created a starseeds group on Facebook.
Yes.
So I know it's a vast subject, and I do want to get into it in the proper way. So what exactly is a starseed, and what made you want to create a group for people?
Well, the idea started because we wanted to make a website, which we never ended up making. We just created the Facebook group. So it was in the works for about a year, and then we finally just decided, because we were interacting with people on Facebook anyway about spirituality and all that stuff, we just decided to make it a group, and it's been going for like 2 years now, and we just got over 2,000 people, and there's a lot of activity all the time, covering like a vast array of subjects from aliens to science, pretty much everything the New Age community has to offer. Lots of music running through there. But what a starseed is a soul that came to Earth with a purpose to help humanity reach a higher vibration. I don't know the best way to describe it. Pretty much you're here with a mission to follow your dreams and create those dreams here on Earth and bring heaven to Earth.
Mm. Yeah. And you prefer to view the heaven through music?
What's that?
You prefer to create that heaven on earth through music? Is that your preferred expression?
Yeah, I've found that electronic music kind of creates this environment for your spirit to just come through. At huge festivals where everyone's up submerged in the sound and outside in nature, and all of a sudden you become one with your spirit. And for me, it's changed my life completely just on the dance floor, like almost this ancient return of this ancient mythos of like this tribal gathering around drums and nature and fire, and this like primal need for community is fulfilled within on the dance floor in this like psychic environment where anything can come through and anything's possible, which is, I didn't really know that was a thing until I experienced it.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Well, when was the first time you did experience it?
2011 was my first music festival. I went to a music festival in Michigan called Peace Fest. And then the following month later, I went to my second ever music festival called Rootwire, which was completely next level. They had workshops all day, visionary art painting gallery, which is pretty much like, I mean, I guess spiritual themed, not as religiously themed. If anyone watched the Michael Garfield podcast, where he talked about how the visionary painters kind of had this like extra dimension on space and time, like depth and using certain geometry and just kind of hinting at a spiritual realm. Like Alex Gray talks about how when you seed higher consciousness into your art, you create this state of being for people to tap into. So through music or through the visionary artists, people can easily receive the transmission of the higher consciousness through the medium of art. It's kind of like this middleman, this way to express a higher standard of living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what got me thinking as you're talking was, I wonder what kind of music they have on, a planet in the Pleiades or something. Do you have any thoughts about what like other planets' music would sound like?
That's a good question.
I like to think about that a lot. I mean, they could be millions of years ahead of us technologically, so if they have computers, I assume they have electronic music. Maybe they don't, though. Maybe they have really simple music.
Yeah.
Maybe like Earth is the one place where music is like the most intense. I've had that feeling. I'm sure there's really complex music everywhere, but I've just heard that the human specifically is like the best musician. Although I've heard from multiple people that like Mozart and a few people like came from the Pleiades or like our star seeds incarnated here to bring that music, and they're like master musicians. There's this movie called The Green Beautiful. It's about this off-planet civilization who's fully telepathic, and they have no crime or they have no money. They are all super athletic, can do flips and circus moves. They have no music there. So when the lady comes to Earth, she discovers music and she brings it back to her planet, and everyone is like having seizures to the music. Literal, but like they can't control their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that thought that maybe other, like, my imagination is, yeah, they have probably the craziest music ever, but maybe the instruments we use, such as the piano and the guitar and sitar, like those are like homemade, unique to Earth instruments. So the sounds that we produce are probably way different than anywhere else.
Yeah. That's really interesting. What was that movie called again?
The Green Beautiful.
The Green Beautiful. Okay, I'm just gonna type that.
It's free on YouTube. It's like in French though, so you have to watch it with subtitles, but it's still really good.
That's really cool. I like that. Do you think when I was typing to you on Facebook on the phone, I was saying that, and I would like to talk to you about, but I didn't type anything, and Lightworker just popped up as a suggested word.
Yeah.
So, do you think your music comes into play? Do you think, as a Lightworker, you create music to sort of heal the people that come to listen?
Yeah, I would say that's the main purpose of my project, is to use music as a platform for healing and medicine and awakening, to like higher consciousness, higher dimensions, higher everything, I guess. I want it to be, I mean, I've experienced it myself where I've gone to shows and then essentially spirit moves through these musicians and comes through the music and uses the music as waves and energy like to tap into. So it almost creates this portal for higher consciousness to like just flood through. That's pretty much my intention, and the main reason I make music is definitely to help people.
Yeah, and so you do have a new project, and that's called Clouds.
Clouds with the Z.
As I understand, it's quite different from your Spaceship Earth music.
Yeah, it's all ambient meditation music, and it's all in 432 hertz. Well, not all of it. Some is in like 444 hertz and other things like that. Just kind of like sacred ancient tuning frequencies that are more harmonious and resonant with your energy field and your body and more healing.
Does 432 differ from 444 in any way?
I mean, they're literally different. And the 444, you can use solfeggio frequencies with it. It's all kind of complex to explain if you don't really know.
You just read an article on our website. What is solfeggio?
That is true. Anyone can go to the website and go to, what is it? What's the tab called?
It's under the what is section, I believe.
There's a what is tab.
Yep.
Some great articles in there.
Yeah.
Yep, what is, and it is third one from the bottom, right above in block.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, could you just quickly explain what solfeggio frequencies are?
Okay. I like to think of them as like these like frequencies that are mathematically close to perfection. So the kind of geometry they create once you like turns into a waveform is kind of like how a triangle is perfect, and people say like perfect's not possible, but like math and geometry, really geometry is perfect, and these frequencies create harmonious fields that consciousness can grow in and life can evolve through. So I once had a vision that like they use these frequencies, like that's how galaxies are formed, through frequencies, and specifically maybe these solfeggio frequencies.
So you're saying God plays music to create planets?
Yeah, I would say vibration creates physicality through geometric forms and creates like a 3D grid for the frequency. The frequency has like a certain consciousness, certain pattern, and then I would say yes to that question.
Yeah.
I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah, she loves grids. But what I was going to say is I think the Tibetan philosophy that says To know is to know God. The Bible says God spoke, and the earth was created with a word. So I personally, through my understanding, creation does happen through sound or through that vibration that comes out. So, so getting back to your clouds project, it's ambient meditation music. What inspired you to create this ambient meditation music?
I've always loved meditation music, and I love meditating. And I wanted to have. Well, not only did I want to like help heal people and get a bunch of good frequencies out there for people to tap into, but as an artist, I find that if you have multiple projects, you can generate multiple sources of income. So it was both like a business idea as well as like I felt like I was definitely guided to do it, and it's going to help the planet and everyone who listens to it. But for me, I also realized that not everyone likes electronic dance music, so meditation music is a way to get myself out there more in a universal way.
Yeah, I definitely see that as something positive for you, especially because like if you haven't heard Spaceship Earth, you're really in for a treat. The music is just like absolutely spectacular, and to have you do the clouds meditation music, it definitely will reach a bigger audience, and I think that's really important for people as artists and musicians to continue to expand and grow themselves and reach more and more people by doing more things. Are there any other projects or ways as a quote-unquote light worker that you like to use on this earth?
I mean, art is in general is my favorite, whether it be drawing, painting, like 3D art, making physical things. I just got into crystal wrapping. I really enjoy dancing in terms of like doing energy work. I feel like I can put energy out there at the most efficient way when I'm dancing. I mean, social media in general, just like posting inspirational stuff to help the collective as much as I can in a non forceful, overly done way.
Yeah, I think that's really important in today's age, where well over half the population of Earth is on Facebook. Probably right now.
I was on it right now. I was sharing the podcast, so everybody should go like and share that sometime. The podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is, and I think it's especially, we were talking about filtering the content on what we put out there on Facebook.
Right.
So, man.
As long as it's easy to just make it a materialistic way to make money, but if you actually serve people in a purposeful way, then they'll start following you, and it's just like making a bunch of friends. And if you actually connect with people and you actually care and you really want to help the world, then you're gonna end up getting money through it because people actually want that service that you're providing, and people understand that you have to eat and make a living, and I don't think it's bad to use your spiritual work to make money.
Yeah.
Although it can.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have your ukulele anywhere near you by chance?
It's in Kalamazoo.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So Kalamazoo's in Michigan. That's
I have my acoustic guitar.
Okay, so yeah, I was just curious if you would want to play one song on your acoustic instrument.
That sounds fun. I don't know any songs, man.
I don't know any songs.
I can improv some stuff. I like improv.
Yeah, if you like, I just feel like, I don't know, you're so musically gifted.
Hey.
It'd be a crime not to have you perform during the podcast.
Let me get my guitar.
Okay. Yeah. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now?
Feel like the full moon is strong. I'm
Mhm.
glad that I got all my crystal jewelry out there and ready for it.
Mhm. Yeah, put your crystals out there, everybody.
Yep, it's full moon in Virgo. Things are happening.
Things are happening.
Things are happening. I bet you
Oh, yeah.
there's people with busted pipes, and if you don't have freezing problems, you got other things happening. Full moon, doing things.
Staying there. We'll make it through.
I can just play some something for you.
All right, the floor is yours.
Okay. I don't know.
Hey.
Anything's better than nothing, my dear.
Ew.
Yes.
That's
So-
so true.
Did you start out playing acoustic music before you got into Spaceship Earth?
Yeah, absolutely. My background is definitely from just being a solo acoustic guitar player and like singer-songwriter, and then it evolved into being in. Well, I was a rhythm guitar player in bands before that, and then I started writing my own songs, and then that eventually turned into a band, and then I decided to quit that band and make my own band, which was Spaceship Earth, and that was at first all songs that I was singing and playing guitar on, and then like playing some electronic stuff in the background. And then it just turned into what it is today, where it's just a solo electronic project where I still play electric guitar over top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what shows are you coming? Are you going to be doing this year?
Well, as of right now, because I just moved, I don't have that many shows booked. But I am playing in the Midwest in Detroit on May 9th with Dixon's Violin and Yogi Magic, and I think Drew Foria is going to be on there. There's going to be live painters and a whole bunch of installations and art, and I think there's going to be workshops, and it's like a whole day awesome event. And then I'm playing a festival in Colorado with Living Light and Stratosphere and Kuali and Erothyme, a few like pretty big underground electronic musicians called Shamanic Boom. And that's May 22nd in Colorado.
That was really intense, the Shamanic Boom.
Yeah.
Sonic or Sonic? Is it the same one Selena's going to?
That's totally different.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Sounds-
Yes, Sonic Bloom is one of the best festivals you could ever go to in Colorado.
Yeah, for sure. That is amazing. I just want to say that I'm very honored to have you on again. I was listening to our last podcast, and it's crazy how much we're all growing like so fast too. And we have a guest on the interview. All right.
That's my mother.
Your mom. Let's get your mom on the interview.
Hi, we love you.
I love mom cameos.
She's the best.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Do you feel
She
like
just got home from work.
nice. Did your mom was your mom like open to spirituality or any of the things that we've talked about while you were growing up?
In little amounts when I was growing up, we kind of both discovered the information at the same time together. like before 2012, 2008 kind of time frame. You read a bunch of the same books by Eckhart Tolle and Don Miguel Luis or something, The Four Agreements and the Mastery of Love, and yeah, we're both into similar things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as I understand, you are an avid reader of literature. Is there a book that you're reading currently?
I'm reading 2 books right now. One is by Esther Hicks. It's Channeling of Abraham. It's about the law of attraction and getting in alignment with like your soul purpose. And then I'm reading a book by Tony Robbins called Mastering the Money Game, which is really awesome. It's all about entrepreneurship, and he talks a lot about how the economic system is flawed, but then he just puts a positive spin on making money and using it to help people and save the world.
That's really
good. I really like Tony Robbins.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the great motivational speakers out there, along with Les Brown. So we do have a few questions from audience that we would like to get in.
I have a question first.
Okay.
How do I find you on Twitter? And how can other people find you on Twitter?
Let me look at my Twitter.
I think it's at spaceship_eart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Instead of Earth, I just made it art, but it's like EART. But it's actually twitter.com/spaceshipearth_EART.
Okay, I was making sure. We actually had Samantha in the chat room who was on that, but I still couldn't find you for some reason. But
Yeah.
Samantha's all about that Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Just so people can find you, because I figured if I couldn't find you, that it might be a little hard for someone else.
Yeah, Spaceship Earth was taken. That was like the one social network site I couldn't.
Yeah.
Just type Spaceship Earth. And then there's on Facebook, it's Spaceship Earth Music, like facebook.com/Spaceship Earth Music. And then Tumblr is probably my favorite. It's like a visual experience of all the things I like to think about. And my songs are on there, so you can like listen to my music while you scroll through a visual representation of my soul.
I like it. I used to Tumblr a lot. I got away from it, but I miss it, so it might be a thing.
Yeah, my Tumblr is spaceshipeearthmusic.tumblr.com.
Might as well link it in the chat too if you got it.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's just like being weird.
Understandable.
But yeah, I want to make sure people can find you because you're awesome, and they should join the Starseeds thing that you can as well.
Yes.
Yes, it's awesome.
Audience question: does Ashton make music in his dreams? Asks Susie. Question.
Cool. Absolutely. I've had 2 really major experiences where one time I had a dream where I can show you actually. I had this dream where I was playing guitar, but I was using my guitar pick to like do like a tapping technique, which I'd never done before. I'd like use my fingers like, but then I like was using my guitar pick, which is it's way easier to do in my electric guitar, and I could like hit the notes really fast, and I just woke up and taught myself how to do it, and ever since then I love doing it. I don't know. And then the coolest music dream I've ever had was like 3 or 4 months ago, and I was on a UFO, and I walked up to the balcony, and there was two like flying saucers, like metallic shape, metallically like classic UFO shaped, and I was trying to like send them something, but it just like fell into the space, and so they opened a wormhole and then threw this vinyl at me, and it just said the album was titled Wormholes, and it had a picture of a wormhole on it, and then it was a Spaceship Earth album. So I've been working on that album for like 3 months. Wormholes.
Wormholes.
And ever since that dream, like I've seen Interstellar, and there was all about wormholes. I've seen all this stuff about wormholes, and like it was the craziest, most galactic like download I've ever got. And it was just like, I know exactly what the album cover is gonna look like. I drew it, and actually have it right here. That's hilarious. I might have showed this before, but whatever. This is exactly what it looked like in the dream on the album cover.
That's sweet. I think I remember you trying to draw it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did draw that at your house. I had that dream at your house. My other attempts are hilarious.
I don't even want to say what that looks like.
All kinds of craziness.
And I realized it was like geometry, so it's just a perfect octagon, and then you move the octagon from the center a little bit to the right, and then each one you move just a little bit off the center, and then use the straight lines to connect on the points.
It's like a circle grid. Totally.
It's a circle grid. It's super simple, and I was like, oh man, the aliens are so smart. Like how simple the multi-dimensional creation is.
That's amazing. Just as you were talking about.
Good question.
Oh, okay.
I'm still waiting on for a second. We got distracted because Selena joined the chat room.
Oh.
Everyone was hasidining.
Well, while we're waiting, I did want to mention, Ashton, did you hear about the UFOs on Ceres, or the bright objects? I did. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because I think we're hitting the maximum viewership right now. Yeah, these two bright objects were found on Ceres as the NASA spaceship Dawn was heading toward the dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter, I believe. And that should be there tomorrow taking high-def pictures. So far, as I've heard, none of the scientists, nobody at NASA has been able to come up with an explanation for these bright objects. So yeah, I was curious to get your thoughts on this, Ashton. You think they're UFOs? You think they could be extraterrestrial spacecrafts or civilization?
I hope so. I definitely think it's probable, and I don't know. They could say it's anything. It's hard to say what they even come out with that will be true. So
yeah, just
I don't know.
They did. I did read that this dwarf planet is said to have an atmosphere and water on it.
Really?
Where is this? Sorry.
This is between Mars and Jupiter.
Nice.
So
awesome.
It's not that far away. And it's funny that we're just now hearing about NASA exploring more of our solar system, which isn't that like... Our solar system, compared to the universe, is quite small.
I think we're just not hearing about it because the PayPal bought out NASA, and the government no longer owns NASA. So now PayPal bought NASA.
That's awesome.
Government no longer owns NASA. The guy who created PayPal bought out NASA.
Elon Musk. He owns the SpaceX company. That's the one that was sending supply ships to the ISS, International Space Station. So
I just think that there's a lot coming out about NASA now because I feel like part of the reason he bought it was probably to get down to the bottom of things. I mean, that's a big purchase.
Yeah,
To get yourself to a lot of information, a lot of things a lot of questions. People have a lot of questions about NASA and what's going down.
right.
So NASA basically is no longer a government entity, but a private entity.
It's okay. Before we know it, we're going to have Star Trek ships and things are happening.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
So it's...
Yeah. I just started getting into Star Trek the other day, and I want to say,
It's more than the other day. It's been a couple months.
Well, yeah. But I just started getting into it this year, and I just want to pay my respect.
Right.
Yeah, respects to Spock. That little thing. What happened?
I hardly knew ye, but yet I loved thee.
He lived long and he prospered. Good things were happening.
What's
We
that?
do have more questions from the audience. I'm sorry. I'm sending you giggles because being sad is inappropriate. Let's see. The next question was, it's from Selena, and it's, I want to know if you feel energy shifts when you're playing. And to add to that, I'd like you to explain, like just what it feels like for you to play. And I think we had a mind control conversation once.
Yeah, that's funny. I definitely experience energy shifts. I've had a couple shows where it's as if the energy hits this wall, and then it clicks, and then it sends this shock wave across the room. And I've personally experienced where if the crowd's into it and captivated and everyone's dancing and I'm giving a lot of feedback, energy will just pour out of me. I could meditate for 8 years and it would never come out that far. It's just that communion with the crowd. It's the most blissful experience I've ever had by far. It's connecting with the crowd while on stage. It feels amazing. And even regardless if the crowd's into it or not, I try to be into it and send out the good energy regardless.
She also asked, would playing in or at a sacred site affect your music?
Absolutely. I think that's my favorite place to play at, is where the environment is. There's already that, it's an intentional space where kind of healing can take place, like a catharsis. Your subconscious will know that it's okay to let things out in that safe space. So I definitely prefer that over any other space, let alone playing at a bar. I would much rather be outside with a meditation garden surrounding it and crystals and people meditating as well as dancing.
Mm-hmm. I would like to hear more about your experience. I believe it was at the Kalamazoo Papa Pete's. You were talking about how it ended up being 6 or 7 or 8 people meditating in front of your stage.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was an hour into this set, and one person started meditating on stage, and then all of a sudden half the crowd was spontaneously meditating on stage and in front of the stage while other people were dancing, and I was pretty much brought to tears of just the energy that was created in that day. Was so beautiful. It's very unifying, and that's when I knew that I was fully on purpose. That what I was doing was helping and it was working, and people actually liked it, and it could be a powerful, moving, spiritual experience for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. I didn't get into dancing really until 2011, 2010 maybe, but just, yeah, like you said, the cathartic release while you're dancing, you're just allowing everything to come to the surface. You're giving it expression through your movements, and by the time you're done, you just feel like everything that you've been holding on to been released, and you like a whole new person. It's like being baptized with songs.
Absolutely. It's like a shamanic experience where you get in this trance state through the drums and the rhythm, and your mind steps out of the way and your soul can come through, and you can get information from your higher self, among a bunch of other things that can just spark. I mean, anything. And it's just good exercise. It's good getting your body moving and your consciousness flowing through it.
Yeah, definitely. It sounded like you had a question.
No, I was going to add to what I said. I don't know if they necessarily own NASA as the NASA entity, but what he did was he bought or somehow got a hold of NASA information when they didn't close NASA, but it's not running and sending any more space units up, so PayPal kind of took over that part of the mission, and he's now sending it in SpaceX. So I wanted to clarify what I was talking about.
Yeah, SpaceX, that's Elon Musk. He also owns the Tesla car company.
Wow.
Just like kind of clarify so I wasn't throwing out ridiculous information.
Okay, well good. Thank you for clarifying. That's important, being a podcast or a published video interview.
Yeah. And we had another question. Where'd it go? Okay. Samantha says, if you could perform a show on any planet or anywhere in the known galaxy, where would you choose?
Aww.
And it's really funny that she asked that question because if nobody else was going to give me a question, my question was going to be, what's your favorite planet and why do you want to visit it? So it goes right in with that.
Yay! I want to play on a huge spaceship so bad. It's crazy. I just like imagine a spaceship that's like the size of a planet, and
size of Earth.
As like, well, there's that, but then like, I mean, organic spaceship Earth is the best place to play. I think. I'm working towards getting bigger crowds here, which I think is vital. But I would love to play anywhere in the galaxy, but especially on a spaceship with like 100,000 people. And like the craziest sound system of all time.
We would just boost you and blast you through the entire galaxy.
Yeah, it would just run on music.
that'd be a good concept.
Man.
What's my favorite planet though? In our solar system, I'm gonna have to go with Neptune. Because it's all about like mystical, ethereal, fairyland, magical, like whimsical, like sci-fi type energy. So I appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you like to express in this interview?
I think one of the most important things I've learned is that we are souls in a body, and that we're not just bodies and brains and like meat or whatever. We're light, and we are eternal, and I think it's good to be easy on yourself, and as well as hard on yourself, but don't like overanalyze the process of what you're going through. Allow yourself space to grow, and know that it's kind of rough on this planet to fit in, and we're all loved, and we are all taken care of. The more we believe that and allow it, the more it'll be true. I think it's important to make art and to create, to like own your creatorship. So I would say go out and make some art that will help the world, and that's probably one of the coolest things you could do as a human.
That's what we're all about. That project, name of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another question we have?
Yep, we have one more question. If you could give yourself a name or channel a name from Sirius or whatever origins you believe to be from, what would it be?
If I could give myself a name,
Yes, if you could give yourself a name or if you've channeled a name.
I channeled the name Soul Ra one time. That was pretty. It felt powerful, and it came through this download. It was like Soul Ra, Vishnu, which is like a Hindu deity. Kind of like, I think he's a masculine energy. A creator, maybe. Shiva's like destroyer. I could be wrong, but yeah, Soul Rod. I mean, I wouldn't personally pick that name, but it resonated a lot with me when I was just like in meditation one day and was like,
I like that.
I don't know.
We enjoyed having you on the podcast again, Ashton, and as always, you're always welcome here on Project Bring Me Life.
Thank you for having me. I love being a part of Project Bring Me Life, honestly.
Yep.
It's getting big. Big things.
Yeah, it's just the start.
All the things.
And a year from now, things are going to be out there.
We're finally building a good foundation. We got a nice, cool background.
Yeah, they were commenting on it.
Really? Oh,
They asked if it was a sunroom.
nice. Does it sound like a sunroom? Do we sound better?
Sounds great.
Oh,
We're doing it.
yeah. Yep. And if you are curious, Ashton was our first interview on the podcast. If you're curious to see how far we've come in 34 podcasts, you should check out the very first one.
You have long hair.
What's that? Yeah, he did have long
Yeah,
hair.
did. You had mohawk.
I had a mohawk.
My hair was
Ooh.
brown and poofy. I don't even know if I was on the first one.
No,
I wasn't. I was behind the scenes.
behind the scenes girl, but now she's in front of the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sun.
yeah, if you like to check out that first podcast, up at the top of projectbringmelife.com, right next to the home tab, there's the podcast tab, and just click the first one. I think it's September 2014.
Yep.
Yeah, but wonderful. I really enjoyed having you again, and I'm very honored, and I love you very much.
I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see you guys again and be see the Appalachian Mountains. And,
You're going to have to come vacation at Castle Shine again soon.
Uh,
oh my gosh. I'm really looking forward to it.
hmm.
And seeing the kitties.
Yes. Well, besides that, anything I have to say now is thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch. We do have a podcast next Tuesday with Zach Winchester from Zach and One Army. That is
That's going to be a good one.
that is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so same time. Yep.
It'd be really cool if any of you would give us a like and a share
Hmm.
after the podcast. Just share it so people can listen to it. If you want to share this one, or you can share any of the other ones. And also, anytime you like or thumbs up us on YouTube, that really helps us out a lot because it'll help us reach people and help us keep going. So hop on YouTube for a second, hit the thumbs up button,
Mhm.
and it doesn't take more than a second, and you're helping us out so much, and we're so grateful.
Just search Project Bring Me Life podcast. You'll find it.
Yeah, and we also post all of the podcasts split up. So if sometime you're like, man, I really wish I could have caught the card reading or just the mustache segment or the energy forecast, he spends a lot of time breaking it all up for people so that people can check it all out. And each one of those likes, that also helps us. So
Yep. Don't always break up the mustache, but the
Sometimes.
card reading, cosmic energy forecast,
the
I would definitely
interview
do that.
and everything, and each one of those thumbs up is just 10 thumbs up on our end. So we appreciate it. And we're working really hard to reach out to Twitter and Sue and Tumblr and all the other ones. And I also wanted to give Alex Case just a shout out for not only did he win the bracelet, but he also offered to help do Street Team. And we've had several people offer to do that. So if you're interested, let me know, give us a heads up, and I'm working on getting as much marketing and promo material out so that you guys can help us build that Street Team and show your PBN2L family love.
Yes. So recently we did a music video with Spaceship Earth for one of his remixes, and I think we're going to end with that. So, Ashton, did you have any final words for this episode?
I would definitely recommend that everyone checks out the rest of the website. Check out all the musicians and the guides and the artists, and oh my gosh, the website, Project Moving Life, has so much awesome awakening people and information that you could spend weeks on there. So.
True.
Check it out.
Oh, well, thank you, Ashton.
Mm-hmm.
We do spend a lot of time working on our content and putting out really good, just really positive, beautiful things out there. So.
For the What Is pages too, you guys can check, like he had this whole variety of frequencies, and we have a whole bunch of other topics, and we would like to add more topics. So motivate us by telling us what topics you want to learn more about, because if we know what topics you want to see, then that'll give us more just drive to bring you exactly what you want. We've been trying to touch on things that have been in the podcasts, but sometimes it gets to be a lot and we just don't know. So we're working on that, and we know what we want to share with you, but we want to make sure that we're giving you all the information you need to keep growing and stay awake until you can shine on.
Yeah, that's your catchphrase. You want to say your catchphrase before I take it to the video?
Yes. Also, real quick, I just put up a whole new set of chakra jewelry that is charging in this full moon. So stay awake and shine on always.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll leave you with this video and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stay awake and shine one always.